Welcome to Chicago, the Windy City. Hi, we are Dave and Neta Jackson, authors of Windy City Stories, a series of novels set in Chicago, such as the Yada Yada Prayer Group, the House of Hope, the Harry Bentley novels, Lucy Come Home, and Sold Out Sisters.
But we especially want to tell you about our latest series called Windy City Neighbors. This series features the innovative storytelling technique of parallel novels, each with its own drama and story arc, but whose characters' lives become intertwined and affect one another. The first two novels in the series, titled Grounded and Derailed, introduce you to Beecham Street, a typical isolated American neighborhood that just might be a place of hope.
So come with us while we take a little tour of the neighborhood. This is the actual neighborhood where we've set this series, though we gave the dead-end street a fictional name, Beecham Street. As you can see, the neighborhood consists mostly of what are commonly known as Chicago bungalows, single-story brick homes.
However, Beecham Street also includes a few two-flats, such as this graystone that Harry and Estelle Bentley bought when they moved onto the block. And across the north end of the street, we placed a McMansion, overseeing the neighborhood like a manor house at the end of the lane. A couple blocks south is the local bar, which with the help of Photoshop we renamed The Office, as in, I'm still at the office. If you read earlier Harry Bentley novels, you know it created a serious temptation for him.
In the first two novels of this series, Grounded and Derailed, the main characters, Grace Meredith, a concert singer, and Harry Bentley, an Amtrak detective, take an extended train trip west, beginning here at Union Station in Chicago. I'm heading into the old classic waiting room of Union Station in Chicago, the beginning point of many a family trip that we've taken over the years from Chicago.
If this great hall looks familiar to you, it may be because you saw it in one of the several movies and TV shows that have been filmed here, including The Untouchables, My Best Friend's Wedding, Chain Reaction, ER, and Early Edition. This is the Amtrak police office out of which Harry worked. Here we have some canine dogs that's working here in the Amtrak station, similar to the kind of work that Harry did. They have a beautiful chocolate lab.
In all of our stories, we try for as much authenticity as possible, whether in our contemporary novels for adults or in our Trailblazer series, historical fiction for young readers. Even though our stories are fiction, paying attention to authenticity in setting and details is only one part of writing stories that readers identify as true to life. As research for the extended train trip that happens in the Windy City Neighbors series, we took the same Amtrak route that Grace Meredith took for her West Coast concert tour that overlapped with Harry Bentley's undercover drug bust.
On our way west, we stopped to see some of Neta's cousins on their large cattle and wheat ranches in Montana, where we also hiked Castle Rock, site of the original family homestead. Later, I got to spend a day on a combine harvesting peas. Next, we hopped off the train for a day at Glacier National Park. Then we continued on to Seattle, where Grace Meredith held her first West Coast concert not far from the Space Needle. Though we rode the train, Grace had to tour by bus down the coast to Los Angeles. The trip home for both Grace and Harry began in LA's Union Station, where there were some strange characters, including an unusual number of canine teams. Meeting new friends is always one of the joys of train travel, as is viewing magnificent scenery. In fact, over those distant mountains, I actually own a little tiny piece of property that my grandfather bought years and years ago. The stop in Albuquerque, New Mexico was crucial to Harry Bentley's efforts to solve his case. There he was assisted by Detective Conway, loosely modeled on the real Amtrak detective John Claiborne, whom I had a chance to meet when we stopped there.
Back on the train, we kept writing as we headed east, including a crucial scene that took place at the station in Raton, New Mexico, in both parallel novels. But finally, we arrived back at Union Station in Chicago, still taking notes for a scene that takes place in the ticket area near the fountain you can see over my shoulder.
While all of our parallel novels stand alone, mysteries in one novel often remain unrevealed until the next, and that's true of Grounded and Derailed. What does Harry do on the ramp between these two Metra commuter trains that saves Grace even though she knows nothing about it?